Aslinya kalau ada satu lagi nggak ada ya?
Cuma ada 2 ya Mas?
Wirelessnya ada berapa Mas?
Wirelessnya ada cuma 2.
3 ya?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to International Talkshow on Agricultural Biotechnology and Biosafety. I would like to express my gratitude to all of the participants for joining the talk show today. Before we start the event, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Elia Isnawati, and I will be the master of ceremony for this event. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the talk show, I would like to invite the chairman of the organizing committee to give opening remarks. To Professor Bambang Sugiharto, please come forward. Time is yours.
Good morning. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to welcome all of you, the students from high school, the students from university. So, welcome to the talk show. This is the last activity on the international seminar and workshop on agricultural biotechnology and biosafety. We have a distinguished speaker from Michigan State University, Professor Karim, Professor Hasini, and Professor Ruth. So we will have a talk show on biotechnology. I think the biotechnology is a new emerging technology on biology, so we should know about the technology, and all people, including students in high school, I hope all of us will learn about biotechnology. And then, so welcome, and please have a good discussion on the agricultural biotechnology. I think this is enough, and I hope we'll be start soon this talk show on agricultural biotechnology. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bambang Sugiharto, for the opening remarks. For your information, this event is currently live streaming on www.unech.ac.id. You may watch the conference wherever you are, so don't forget to inform your friends to visit the site and enjoy the conference online. And another information, the discussions material for this talk show can be downloaded by scanning from here. You can get the program book, biography, and slides in digital form. The barcodes are also placed on your left and right side. Now we will begin the talk show. In this session, we will have 3 topics and 3 speakers from Michigan State University, United States of America. The first topic is Introduction of Agricultural Biotechnology by Professor Karim Maredia. The second topic is Socio-Economy of Agricultural Biotechnology by Dr. Hashini Galena Disanayaki. And the last topic is Biosafety of Agricultural Biotechnology by Dr. Ruth Babasi. This session will be chaired by Dr. Wahyu Indra Dwi Vanata. I would like to invite Dr. Wahyu Indra Dwi Vanata to come to the stage.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Elia. Okay, guys. Good morning. Selamat pagi. Annyeonghaseyo. Okay. Okay, so how are you? Fine. Okay. So today I'll be the host of this talk show. So we will have 3 distinguished speakers from USA, Professor Karim, Dr. Hashini, and also Dr. Ruth. So they are a professor in Michigan State University, and actually they are not American. Originally they are not American, but they came to America to reach the American dream. Okay, who want to go to America? Siapa yang pingin ke Amerika? Hah? Ke Amerika untuk who want to go to America for working as scientists? No? For traveling? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So this time, Professor Karim will introduce about the biotechnology. Do you know about biotechnology? Huh? Do you know about biotechnology for high school student? Okay. No? So Professor Karim will introduce about biotechnology. So Professor Karim, so today about 61 students from 10 high school came here to participate in this talk show. And also some graduate student, also some undergraduate student also came here to listen your talk. Okay. Okay, Professor Karim, you will have 20 minutes to speak your talk. And then later, Professor Hashini also, you have 20 minutes, and Professor Ruth also, you have 20 minutes. And then we'll have discussion. Okay, thank you. Time is yours. Yeah. Pointer.
So I can just stand here?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. So as first of all, we want to thank Prof. Bambang and our moderator Ibra for hosting us here today, and also many thanks to University of Jamber and U.S. Department of Agriculture. Ms. Titi is here, and Crop Life and many other organizations for hosting here. So I'm originally from India. I was born in India in a place like Jamber, yeah, smaller than Jamber, yeah, and I came to Indonesia first time in 1994, before most of you were born even, yeah. So it's really nice to be back here. I've come here many times, but first visit to Jamber. So it's really nice to be here, and it's nice to hear that there are 61 students, you said, from 10 high schools. Really, we are very grateful to Prof. Bambang to give opportunity to students from schools, high schools here. Because as this is a new technology, new science, and it's changing every day. So it's really nice that all of you are here. So I will just very quickly give an introduction to agriculture biotechnology. How many of you have taken any class in biotechnology in your school, high school? Anybody? Or biology? Maybe they take biology, right? Okay, good. So we'll go very quickly, and then we'll open up for discussion. Okay, so as our moderator said, we are from United States. We are from Michigan, yeah? I think this pointer doesn't show up on the screen. So Michigan is where the circle is, yeah? Very close to Canada, very cold place. We get 60, 70 inches of snow. This is nice here, yeah? So We are there and very close to Chicago. Okay, we are also like Indonesia. We are surrounded by water, yeah, but we don't have oceans. We have lakes, many lakes there. And we are from Michigan State University. So in the United States, we have 50 states, and each state has one university, which is we call land grant university, which is public university, that is helping the farmers of the that state for their agriculture development, for more food production, and so on. So, and the role of our university is to make new knowledge, like Jambar University. Yeah, we are same like Jambar University, and we want to impact the lives of the people. So right now, the total population of world almost 7.5 billion people. How many people in Indonesia here, please? How many? 200? Okay, how many million here? Just look at the Google, yeah? Check, 270 million people, yeah? I just checked before I came. Yeah, 270 million people. Indonesia is the fourth most populated country in the world. Which is the first one? China. Second? India. Third? No, India is second. Third? America. And the fourth is Indonesia, yeah? And in the next few years, you will be crossing, by 2030, your population will be 300 million people. That means you will need to produce more food. By 2030, you all will be scientists working like the way Prof. Bambang and we are working, yeah? So big challenge, yeah? You'll have to produce more food to feed your people. And then by 2050, the projection is the world population will be 9 billion people. 9 billion people from 7.4. That means we all will have to work together, yeah? To make more food for the people. So big challenge for you, huh? In the future. Okay, many challenges now, right? Food security is one, many problem with the nutrition, climate change, right? We hear about climate change. In your school also you hear about climate change, right? Sometimes too much rain, too little rain, to temperature very hot, sometimes cold, like that. So many different issues around the world. And biotechnology can help solve all these problems, yeah? So biotechnology is a technology that can help address many of these problems, energy problem, biodiversity conservation, natural resources, everything. So biotechnology is very broad, yeah? These are the tools, these are the techniques that can help in agriculture, in health, human health, in improving the health of people, animals, fisheries. Also, biotechnology can help to improve the environment, make the environment better. Also, many applications of biotechnology for the industry, yeah, to make new processes, new chemicals, new biopesticides. So many different uses, yeah, for biotechnology. So when you go to college, you can take up any of this field. You can study agriculture biotechnology, you can study medical biotechnology or health or industrial or environmental, yeah. So when we talk about biotechnology, many different tools and techniques, many different methods. One is tissue culture. Some of you are in the college here, right? You learn about tissue culture, yes? Tissue culture. Then the other application is molecular markers, and I will give you some examples with photos, yeah? And then genetic engineering and gene editing. So these are many different applications for biotechnology. The modern genetic modification, so with the biotechnology techniques, you can bring genes from one species of plant to another species of plant, or from one organism to another organism. So we are transferring genes into crop plants using many different techniques and tools, and that's modern biotechnology, yeah? And this is a process in the laboratory where you can make genetically engineered plant going through the lab. I'm sure today you will visit some lab here. Yeah, you will learn more about this, how to make the genetically engineered plant in the laboratory. Yeah. So biotechnology can help solve many problems. Insects. Oh, sorry. Can you please go back? No, next one. Yeah. It can help solve the problem of insects. If you see rice or maize, many insects and disease feed, right? With biotechnology, you can control these insects or pests. Also, problem of water, less water, right? Drought. You can use biotechnology to solve the problem of drought or cold or salinity. Or you can remove toxic chemical from the soil. Or you can make the crops better nutrition. I will give you example of golden rice, where you can have more beta carotene or vitamin A in the rice. Or you can keep the fruits or vegetable longer, shelf life, yeah? Sometimes we harvest, we have papaya at home, right? It ripe very fast. With biotechnology, you can keep it longer, yeah? So you can increase the shelf life and many other applications. Next one, please. So this is one example. See, this is what the insects do. They really spoil our food, right? This is potato. Who want to eat this potato? Nobody, right? Bad, yeah? Insects have gone in. But with biotechnology, you can make the potato resistant to insect. This is an example of tuber moth, yeah? It goes inside and next slide, please. But this is what biotechnology can do. So see the right-hand side, nice potato, no? Crop. It's genetically engineered. Left-hand side is the normal. What happened to the normal? The insects eat. You don't even see any leaves there, right? This is the power of technology, yeah? This is what you can do. Next one. This is another application of rice. Rice, you know, if it gets flooded, it dies, no? Plants. But now, with the molecular marker, you can make rice resistant to flood, yeah? So even if more water comes, the rice is okay. See here, that some of the varieties are nice and other varieties are dead with the water, yeah? So this is a submerged or what they call flood resistant rice. Next one, please. This is another example of pearl millet. You don't grow pearl millet here, Prof. Bang, do you? Not here. It's a food crop. It's grown in many countries in Asia and also in Africa. They have problem with the disease downy mildew. So they use molecular marker to make resistant to the fungus disease. Next one, please. So many countries around the world are growing biotechnology developed crops. About 24 countries. Indonesia will be next. Indonesia just approved sugarcane. Yeah, first biotechnology crop approved here in Indonesia, sugarcane. That Prof. Bambang developed here. Yeah, Jember University developed here. You may see it today. Will they see it today? No, probably sugarcane. No, no, they will not. But you may see some pictures. Yeah. So now many farmers around the world are growing these crops. Next one, please. In America, in the United States, we grow about 9 or 10 different biotechnology crops. Potato, squash, sugar beet, alfalfa. Alfalfa they feed to the animals. Soybean, papaya, cotton is also grown, maize, many different crops. 75 million hectare of crops are planted with the biotech in America, yeah? So 9, 10 different crops. Next one. I'm from Michigan, yeah? And we are from the state of Michigan. There we grow 4 crops. We have soybean, maize, sugar beet, and alfalfa. These are the 4 crops that farmers grow in our state, yeah? Almost 100% of the sugar beet, now all GMO or biotech crop. Yeah. Next one, please. So you see, maize in Michigan. On the right-hand side is the biotech, GMO, yeah? On the left side is the normal one. See what happened? The normal one, insects eat the roots. The right hand side is the biotech one. The roots are looking good, right? So the plant will be very healthy. Plant will produce more corn. So this is another example of what biotechnology can do, yeah? Next one, please. This is with maize, when you harvest the ear, right? The left-hand side is the biotech maize. The right-hand side, normal maize, yeah? See what happened with the normal maize? Insects also eat and the fungus start growing. Will people eat this? No, right? Toxic. But on the left-hand side, good one. Next one, please. This is soybean. On the right-hand side is the biotechnology. The left side looks short, right, with lot of weeds inside. And that's normal one. So you can manage also weeds using the biotech crops. Next one, please. Here is another example of soybean. See, on the left-hand side is the biotechnology. No insect damage. The right-hand side, insects are feeding there, yeah? So there is a gene, Bt gene. Bt makes some protein. If an insect eat the protein, insects die, yeah? So this is what the science is behind. Next one, please. This is one example of the vegetable crop squash. Zucchini. I don't know if you eat squash here, do you? You don't have it. In America, they eat squash. The left-hand side is biotechnology, squash. Right-hand side, normal one, virus. Both the rows were infested with the virus same day. But the left-hand side looked good, right? Normal, very good. And the right-hand side infected with the disease virus, yeah? So farmers want to grow good one, yeah? Next one, please. This is example from India, cotton, yeah? Left-hand side, this one nice looking, yeah? Is the biotech, Bt cotton. The right-hand side, normal one, insects are eating. Yeah. So you see big difference, yeah? So India also, the farmers are growing this crop. Next one, please. This same crop in Africa, yeah? I visited Africa. Now the farmers there are also growing in this crop. Next one. This is an example of potato. Now, so the left-hand side is the biotech one, the right-hand side brown one, right? When you cut potatoes, if you keep it, it becomes brown, right? With biotechnology, it will not become brown. It will remain fresh, green, like white, yeah? So this is the power of the technology. Next one. Apple. See, when you purchase apple, you cut apple. Apple, if you keep it for 15, 20 minutes, it becomes brown, no? But the biotechnology, the apple remain fresh, green. Yeah? So this is another technology, yeah? Next one. This is golden rice. So rice is normal, white. But now with the biotechnology, they can put beta carotene, make it yellow, yeah? This is like nasi goreng, yeah? Yeah, yellow, yeah? But has, yeah, but it has more vitamin A, yeah? And we want more vitamin because our eyes require vitamin A, yeah, for eyesight. Next one. Oh, so this is another example of golden rice. Yeah? Next one, please. So in future, this is another example for fish. The big fish is the biotech, GMO, salmon fish variety. The small one, the same fish, but normal one, 3 times bigger, yeah, with biotechnology. So you can have more fish here, yeah. I like Indonesian fish, very good, yeah. So one of you can work on the fish and make it big, fast, yeah. So it grow. So this is one example. Next one, please. So many different application. I'm just showing this picture because you are studying now, right? When you go to the college, you can say, okay, I'll study fish or plants or animals, many different. Now everybody talking about gene editing. How many of you have heard about gene editing? Probably not, yeah? It's new. Either you can insert a DNA or you can cut or you make changes. Next one, please. So now gene editing also used. This is for tomato. With the gene editing, they make tomato produce more fruits, yeah? More production. Next one. This is for soybean, for health. soya bean oil, they make it better, yeah? So it's good for our health. Next one. Corn also, they increase the starch with maize, yeah? With the gene editing, more, they make it more waxy, yeah? Next one. This is a good example of gene editing. Cows, no horn. Normally the cows have the horn, right? With gene editing, they will not have any horn. No horn, yeah? So these are the things you can do. Hornless cow. Now already there, yeah? So you can look at. We will give you the slide. You can look at the example, yeah? Next one. Again, so in future there will be many applications for environment, for health, for everything. Next one, please. So again, biotechnology, good technology, right? But people are asking a lot of questions. What is the safety for environment? Is it the food safe? If you make genetic engineering, biotechnology, is the food safe? Also, some social aspects, some cultural aspects, ethical aspects, yeah? You will learn this. If you make biotechnology crops and so on, will you be able to sell to different countries or no? So many different issues. Next one. So every country has regulation, yeah? Government make laws, they make regulation, yeah? Here, when you drive a car, the police always checking, right? So government have regulation to make sure you are driving good, right? Same thing with science. We have regulation to make sure that we are doing it. So in the United States, in America, there are 3 agencies: U.S. Department of Agriculture, Environmental Protection Agency, and Food and Drug Administration. These are the government department that make regulation to make sure that we are doing it safe, yeah? Safe for the human, safe for the animal, and safe for the environment, yeah? We want to do everything that to make sure that it's safe. Next one. So even though we have regulation, as I showed you, many crops have been developed now. Farmers are growing. Next one. And the farmers are growing because they make benefit. They make more food, less pesticides, and so on. Next one. So in America, there are about 10 different crops now, biotechnology. You saw the pictures, right? Out of the 10, 9 developed by private companies, yeah? So in the future, please visit the private companies, yeah, that are working and making this crop, yeah? And see what they are doing, yeah? Next one. So for biotechnology to be successful, the university, academia, the government, and the private company, all of them have to work together, yeah? Government, the company, and the university, all of them have to work together. Next one. So again, this is a picture of, these are the crops that we are growing in America, and we are eating them, and also we are feeding them to the animals. Next one. So we do many training programs, yeah, in Michigan State University. This is one program we did 2-3 years ago. So all of you are most welcome, yeah? Our moderator asked question, how many of you want you to go to America, yeah? Please raise your hand. How many? See, now many hands, right? You saw good pictures, no? Those are the crops, see? Yeah. Okay, next one. And see, in America you can eat the biotech, yeah? Crops, this is corn. Next one. Pa Herman from Indonesia, he visited us. He worked with the biotechnology here in Indonesia. Next one. This is our campus, beautiful campus, like Jember, yeah? See? Here. We have nice, next one, please. Okay, thank you very much. This is a website of our university, yeah? www.msu.edu. Okay, thank you very much, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Karim, for your nice talk and exactly 20 minutes. And next speaker is Dr. Hashini Kalena Disanaki. I would like to invite Dr. Hashini to speak here, and you have 20 minutes. Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
So it's really nice to see so many young minds here. I'm very excited. I hope you all grow up to be very smart and intelligent people. So thank you so much for having us here. Let me start before I get into my topic. Now you heard about apples that stay white, right? Cows that lose horns, salmon that grow faster, right? What do you think about biotechnology? You can tell me quickly because we don't have much time. What? Say that again, loud. Say it loud. Make everything better. Any other opinions? Huh? Have impacts. What kind of impacts? Okay, in a good way or a bad way? Okay, what else? There's one there.
Thank you. I think, in my opinion, biotechnology can improve the economic development in the country that based on agriculture, like Indonesia or maybe in the Southeast Asian country. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? What happened to the pointer? Okay. All right. So, anybody think badly about it? Anybody have concerns about it? Yes? You do?
Actually, that makes a wonder about the biotechnology application in the environmentally. How does the biotechnology give an impact in our health human, in the environmentally too, and in society too? This makes me wonder, how does biotechnology works? This is
Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is what are the social, economic. I'm not going to talk a lot about environment because that's more on the technical side, but we'll relate to environment in a social and economic perspective, right? Okay. Thank you for all those great answers. Okay, so today I'm going to quickly talk about agriculture, the way I see it in Indonesia, what it looks like, and you can agree or disagree or tell me things that I don't know about it, okay? And then what are the challenges? There are lots of global challenges to agricultural systems, and the challenges that you have here aren't just specific. There might be some specific ones, but there are also very common ones across the globe, right? And there are also things about not just producing more food, but there are some other aspects that we have to consider when we are thinking about improving agriculture. Then we are also going to look at a few examples of where we can improve agriculture productivity, because agriculture, there are lots of room for agricultural development. And then we'll look at the socioeconomic issues, both the benefits of socioeconomic aspects of biotechnology, and then we'll also get into a few things about the concerns, some of the things that you raised, and we'll see how try to look at it in a balanced perspective. All right, so agriculture systems in Indonesia. Have you all gone to a farm? Any of you not been to a farm? Huh? Everybody's gone to a farm, right? Anybody from farming families? Nobody. Okay. All right, it's okay. You all gone to a farm. So what do you see in a farm? What is it like? Is agriculture an important sector for your economy? Students? Yeah? Who produces your food? Is it all big farmers or smallholder farmers? Smallholder farmers, right? Do you import food? You do. What do you import? Do you import rice? Yes, you do. Why do you import rice? Because you don't have enough, right? Do you have a lot of potential for agriculture? Do you have a lot of fertile soils here? Yeah, you have lots of different biological, like agroecological zones, right? Do you have a lot of labor, land and capital available for agriculture? What about, Jakarta is 10 times bigger than when I came in the 1990s, right? It's growing, and you can't always have a lot of agriculture. You have to give it away to some things like, construction of, housing, your land, your roads, right? So agriculture, it's not just limited to agriculture anymore. Do you see a lot of bugs and weather change, right? That's happening, right? Okay, so those are some of the problems to agriculture. Do you have any other ones to think about? Those are pretty much covering all the things? I'm sure there are more, right? So these are some general ones. Here are the emerging challenges. There are lots of them, and this is only a few. You have a very big population, right? Does anybody know what the population growth rate in Indonesia? I'm sure you're studying this in school, right? 3% per year. That's what the new statistic says, but that's pretty high, right? You're multiplying by 3 times every year. All right, so what about food security? Is everybody getting to eat? Are there poor people who don't get to eat food here? There might be, right? Not everybody's going to eat as well as you, right? And also, there might be people who get to eat a lot of rice. Is it good to eat a lot of rice? Just rice? No, you need to eat other things. You need to eat your fish, you need to eat your vegetables, right? So it's not about just eating rice, but it's also about eating quality foods. Do you see changes to your weather patterns? Climate change? Do you see rains don't coming in time, more flooding, right? So there are problems with climate change. Do you have the same amount of forest you had when you were very little? No, the forest is also gone, right? It's being used up for other economic and human activities. Energy security. Do we have enough unlimited amount of fossil fuels? No. We have to depend on alternative sources of energy for our living as well as agriculture. And what about pest and disease? Do you see a lot more, do you have gardens at home? Right? You have a lot more worms and a lot more caterpillars and insects that attack your plants? No, just plants. Okay, but you will most probably, the farmers have a different perspective maybe, because they are having to apply lots and lots of chemicals every day to control the pests, and the food you eat also contains that, right? Some residue of it. So also it's about improving yields, but it's another aspect to it is trying to make it equitably accessible, like production equitably accessible to people who need it, and also resources that are needed for production equally accessible to those who produce, right? And then also protecting what you produce. You might be producing enough food, but what happens is it gets spoiled from the time it's on the farm and to the time it reaches you, because it could be having insects that attack the output, so it spoils, right? So you waste food. The food is lost. And then addressing issues like where do you want the food to be, when you want the food to be, who needs to receive this food. Those are also important factors, social and economic factors, right? All right. So, everybody eat potatoes? Not so much. Do you like eating potato chips? Yeah, okay. So that's why I put this diagram, because I know the young people, they like to eat a lot of potato chips, right? So what you're seeing in the recent years is that Indonesia is importing a lot of frozen potatoes, frozen potato chips, because there's a high demand. But then Indonesia has the potential to produce it locally as well. But because of the issues that you're facing that I just talked about, you're not able to produce to meet the demand. People know about demand and supply? Everybody knows? Students, yeah? So if you're not able to provide the needed supply, then you have to import. If you can't domestically produce what you need, you have to get it from outside. So as you can see in the diagram, you can see that the imports of potatoes has been increasing for the last 10 years or so, right? So that's because you have a demanding country, but you're not able to meet it. But that doesn't mean you can't meet that demand. You just need technologies to help you meet that demand, right? Any questions? So far good? Okay. All right. So then this is where biotechnology can play a role, because biotechnology is able to provide solutions that sometimes, if you know the word conventional breeding, right? The traditional way of coming up with new crops and varieties, when that fails, sometimes biotechnology can be a useful solution, right? All right. Now let's look at the socioeconomic impacts of biotechnology. We talked about how the technology works, and now we're going to talk about what people could benefit, how people and the economy could benefit from this technology. First, the agronomic and the production benefits, right? So if you are able to have insect resistance in plants, right? If your corn product is able to have a defense against insects, then you can reduce the amount of pesticide you use to kill those insects that come to your fields, right? So what does that mean to the farmer? He doesn't have to spend that much time on chemicals, agrochemicals, right? They can reduce. And what does it also mean in terms of him or herself? You don't have to spend as much time in the farm, right? You can spend time with your family. You can do some other job. You don't have to spray be in the farm spraying 10 times a week, right? Then that has implications on the cost, because now you don't have to spend that much money to buy chemicals when your plant is protected, right? Then the environmental benefits. You talked about environmental concerns, right? So if you're reducing the chemical use, isn't that good for the environment? If you reduce chemical use, it's good for the environment, right? And then you're also thinking about some plants are able to. So do you know about Roundup? Do you know about herbicide tolerance? So that is, if the plant has this trait, which means herbicide tolerance, and if you apply a weedicide to control for weeds. So weeds are a big problem, right? For farmers, when weeds are in the field, it's competing with the main crop, and you're going to lose your yields to the weeds, because the weeds are going to take the nutrients that you're putting in the soil, right? So what farmers do is they do tilling, right? You would have seen plowing and tilling, right? Have you seen? Right? The two-wheel tractors, they rotate the soil, right? What happens when you do that? You know that the soil contains greenhouse gases, right? When you till the soil, the greenhouse gases escape. So agriculture is very, very unsustainable activity. It increases the amount of greenhouse gases, or it increases the emission of greenhouse gases. But when you have the herbicide tolerance trait in your plants, then you can just apply a weedicide, something like Roundup, which is not so toxic, right? And get rid of it without contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. Then the biotic and abiotic stresses, which is similar to the insect problem that I was talking to you earlier about. You're able to control for insects. You're able to take care of them. So your plant is protected and your yields are protected, right? And then there are other beneficial characteristics that you can get out of biotech, like disease resistance. You must have seen that sometimes, if you take a tomato plant, sometimes it's full of fungus, right? The leaves are covered with fungus. That's not good. When that happens, the plant stop producing because they can't do the photosynthesis anymore. So the plant stop producing outputs, the tomatoes. So that's not good for the farmer and not good for us in the long run because we're depending on the farmer's crop to eat, right? So being able to manage those with biotech applications, you're able to manage crop yields. Okay, so let's look at social effects. We are very interested in social effects, how it affects our lives, right? If farmer's crop is protected and his costs are reduced, he's going to have a beneficial impact on his poverty, right? He's going to be able to come out of poverty, right? Food security. Food is protected. You are going to get access, availability, and quality foods, right? Your food is not contaminated with fungus. Your food is not contaminated with insects, right? So you have quality food. Then you can also think about farmers who are handling chemicals. Now, if they don't have to handle that much chemicals anymore, or they can reduce the amount of chemical applications, their exposure to chemicals also reduces, right? That is a good health impact on them. We are all very concerned about the health implications of overly using chemicals. It's good for the farmer, it's good for us also because our foods no longer have that much of chemicals on it. And then the gender issue, because we also have a lot of female farmers. We have male farmers, we have female farmers. Female farmers have a lot of work to do at home, right? You don't think so? Female farmers are there, right? Yeah? What do they do? What does your mom do? She gets up, she takes care of you, right? She cooks, right? She sweeps, right? And then she may be having a little garden plot somewhere outside, having some vegetables, right? She's doing all of that. And so is the female farmer. So we have to think about those aspects. And the cultural aspects, is this going to have implications on our cultural life? Whether we can do better cultural activities by having enough time to spend on other things. All right. Then abiotic stresses. We talked about climate change, that the rains are changing. So if there is a drought, by having drought tolerance in your crop, you're able to manage that issue. And then the economic gains, of course. More income, right? For farmers, which is very, very important. We want our farmers to be well off, right? And then the trade or the markets. Would you rather buy a tomato that has a worm on it or a tomato that looks nice and red? You like that beautiful tomato, right? Without any bruises, any blemishes. So by having quality food, that creates a good market and a place where farmers can sell their output at a better price. So those are the positive aspects. Now, what are the concerns that, there are people who are concerned about the technology, and they have raised some concerns. So let's look at them very quickly. First one is the allergenicity, whether there is an allergic reaction to those new genes that are inserted, right? Whether there's a risk of cancer. Now, the people in the United States have been eating biotech crops for the last 25 to 30 years, right? Since a long time ago. So, but the reports or any records of people having cancer or any allergenicity, well, there was one case, but that is a different it's nothing to do with this particular. There's a lot of testing that goes into biotech, right? So for up to date, nobody has recorded any cases of cancer resulting from eating biotech crops. Okay? Biotech crops. We've been eating biotech crops. If you ate cereal, any of you have been to the US and you've eaten cereals, yes, you have experienced biotech, you have ate it. Okay, sorry. Then the emergence of insect resistance. That could happen, but that happens in regular agriculture also, because when you keep applying chemicals to plants, you end up having resistance. The insects evolve. So when you have insects like mosquitoes, right? At some point, the insect repellent doesn't work because the insects, the mosquitoes become resilient. Similarly, the other insects can get that as well, but that happens in normal agriculture as well. Then the emergence of herbicide resistance, which is also another issue, and it again happens in normal agriculture as well. So you have to manage that, right? Through integrated pest management, integrated weed management, those methods can be used to manage it. And then the inequality in the benefits, right? You know that when you think about biotech crops, you're thinking of the big multinationals that are in the US that are producing these crops, right? So the idea is that, the farmers are not going to benefit from it, right? Because these people are earning a lot more money and they are not transferring those benefits to the local people. But the thing is, the development of the crops and the regulation, the government process that goes into releasing the crop is really expensive. That's because we are asking for more and more strict regulations, right? So as a result, it's very expensive. So only the big companies can do it. But like Professor Bambang here, he's come up with the sugarcane, right? It's not multinational. It's very, very local, right? And what he's going to do is going to impact your society in a very positive way, right? The loss of biodiversity. We are very concerned about that. But that happens again in normal agriculture, right? To have a rice field, we have to cut down a forest. Is it biotech? No, but it still happens in the regular agriculture as well. Market issues, right? We want to be able to sell our product, or the farmers who are producing biotech should be able to sell their product to other people who are, if they don't have a market, then they're going to have some problems in selling their products. And then you might not be very informed about this, but there's this issue of what you call coexistence, that you need to have these different types of agricultural practices in parallel, or agricultural technologies in parallel. That also still happens, right? So I'm not going to talk a lot about it because this is a little complicated, but if you want to know more about it, I can tell you. Now that's the end of my talk, but I'm sure you have a lot more questions, and if you do have more questions, we can always talk later. So the idea of this is that you don't want to just consider the risk, you also want to consider the benefits, and you weigh. When you have a solution to a problem, you analyze the different the solutions that you have, and you pick the best one. So you do the same with agriculture, biotechnology, and this kind of technology as well. So you choose based on your circumstances, your relevance, and the capacity to have that technology. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Hashimi. Okay, the next speaker is Dr. Ruth Babasi, and she will speak about the biosafety of agricultural biotechnology. Okay, Dr. Ruth? So you will have 20 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. I choose to speak from this side. Hope you don't mind. Good morning. If I'm not clear, let me know. At times, I tend to move faster or to wrap words but please let me know I'm ready to slow down. As I've already been introduced, I'm Ruth Mbabazi. I'm originally from Uganda. Who knows where Uganda is? By default, it's in Africa. Look at my color and you'll know where I come from. It's in Africa, it's in eastern part of Africa. You've heard about Kenya? Yeah, we are neighbors to Kenya. Uganda has only 40 million people. So we are few. Probably that's why I speak faster. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, my background is I'm a biochemist. Who wants to study chemistry? Who does chemistry? Who wants to study chemistry up to undergraduate level, master's level, PhD level? Who wants to do chemistry? None? Who wants to do agriculture? Who wants to do pharmacy? Who wants to do medicine? I need hands up. None? What do you want to do? Sorry? What do you want to study? What do you want to study when you finish your high school? Economics. That's very good. All of you want to be economists? Who want to be scientists? By show of hand. Let me ask, why don't others want to be scientists? It's hard? Okay, I'll talk about biosafety in agriculture. I've been working as a regulator, though I did chemistry. I've been doing policy analysis, policy guidance. I've been working with government, working with lawyers, working with economists, working with every other person. And the only thing which has helped me to work with them is I understand them. And also working with scientists. Isn't that beautiful? So please, you're encouraged to do science. It doesn't stop you from doing what you want. Please move forward, yeah. In my talk, I'll try to take you through biotechnology in agriculture. We've already heard about this from Professor Maredia. And also look at biosafety regulatory system, which I have only two slides. The reason why I'm making it like this is much of it is biotechnology. And we need to understand biotechnology for us to be able to do biosafety. Biosafety is the regulation of biotechnology, basically. Then I'll look at the environmental safety and the food and feed safety. This will be also in brief, okay? Looking at agriculture, you'll find that we have challenges in agriculture, which has already been shared by both Professor Karim and Professor Hashini. We have challenges ranging from food safety all the way to biotic stress, and all these affect us in one way or another. They directly affect our farmers, they affect the elderly, they affect the children, they affect everybody, politicians. If the people don't have food, it will be hard for them to vote him back into power. So there's a way they affect us in one way or the other. However, biotechnology has provided options to deal with these challenges. Also, you've heard much about, from the previous speakers. You've already heard about crops which have been developed using biotechnology. These include brinjal, BT brinjal, genetic engineered mustard. We have corn, we have soybean, we have cotton, we have canola, we have sugar beet, papaya. There are many. Apples, cowpeas, there are so many. Different crops have been researched on. Some of them are out there being used by the general public, and they have been developed using biotech tools. Looking at biotechnology, where is the value to the farmer or the grower? Here we are looking at, we've already heard from Professor Ashini that biotechnology, planting crops, improved using biotechnology can help reduce on some agricultural inputs. These, such as pesticides, fuel, time, these all help a farmer to earn at the end of the day. They also ensure consistent crop management. We've already heard about this, and also consistent yields, and also they have health benefits. Yeah, I just wanted to show you how diseases affect our crops. Here we have corn attacked by pests. You can see at the end of the day, you can't eat that corn. Can you? Continue. This, I think this is fall armyworm. Professor Maredia has experience working with this pest. So you can see, once it attacks the field, you'll find it all looking like that. The leaves of the crop gone, the corn itself eaten, so you cannot get anything at the end of the day. I come from East Africa. My staple crop in my country is banana. We have so many types of bananas. We have plantain, we have dessert bananas, and we have cooking type bananas. We can eat bananas like how you eat rice, morning, day, evening. But once our bananas are attacked by bacterial wilt, you can't get anything at the end of the day. The entire plantation goes. And it takes 3 years to establish a good plantation. It goes just in months. This is cotton, also attacked by pests. At the end of the day, it's the farmer who gets affected. I'm sorry I don't have a picture on sugarcane, which is your crop, and rice, but you saw some from the previous slides, yeah? Continue, yeah. So what is this biotechnology? Why is it being used to help provide solutions? Looking at biotechnology, in particular plant biotechnology, these are a set of techniques used to adapt plants for specific needs or purposes. Yeah? And they include conventional, they range from traditional biotechnology, where a breeder goes and manipulates traits to come up with what he needs, all the way to genetic engineering. Yeah? I've also indicated molecular diagnostics because it helps identify some of these diseases, but it's based on molecular techniques, which is biotechnology as well. Go on. Yeah, I've already mentioned it ranges from tissue culture all the way to genetic engineering, which currently we have gene editing. Here I'm just emphasizing the field, plantation, banana plantation being affected by bacterial wilt. Hold on. Yeah, there's one key step in biotechnology which is unique, or genetic engineering, which is unique, different from other biotechnology techniques, and this is plant transformation. A plant needs to be inserted with a gene, the gene which was talked about by Professor Karim. You need to introduce that gene into the plant genome for the plant to enhance the traits of interest, the ones you need. And that process is called transformation. So through transformation, you can see the process comes all the way from the cells being identified, being germinated on culture, all the way to having a tissue culture plant. Yeah? So here is the question: does the new gene do what it's intended to do? The answer is yes. That's why it's being used on so many other crops. Here we are having plants which are in the lab and in greenhouse growth chambers. You can see the difference, where those with a gene and those without the gene, and then they are progressed into confined field trial. I'll tell you about these different steps, and that's when biosafety comes in, the regulatory bit. We heard about insecticide kind of plants which can resist against being attacked by pests, which we have out there, like cotton. Here we have a trait which is BT in full.
Bacillus thuringiensis, yeah.
Deliberately, because I'm not a biologist. He does biology better than me. So BT, you introduce BT. BT is common in soil. You can introduce it in a plant to enable it to resist against being attacked by pests. But that organism is common in our soil, in daily soil. If you swabbed and tested, you'll find it there. But it has a unique characteristic of attacking certain types of insects. Yeah? So if you introduce it in a plant, you can build that immunity in a plant, and it resists against those insects, those particular insects. And most of the time, those insects are the ones which destroy them, the plants, yeah? Go on. Yeah, this is just to demonstrate how it works in cotton, where a moth lays eggs on leaves and buds of cotton. The larvae emerges, when the eggs hatch. Continue. Yeah, continue. When the larvae emerges and it eats on the plant tissue with BT, the BT binds with the enzymes within the gut of the insect, yeah? And then the bollworm stops feeding immediately and it will die. So here we are having a plant protecting itself by killing the insect which is eating it. When it dies, it won't eat another ball, so the plant will survive. Continue. However, looking at all this, we still have some safety concerns related with the technology, and this includes toxicity, allergenicity. We have gene flow, where you are worried of a gene from this crop moving to another crop where you don't want it to be. You get it? So that's also a worry. And also we have effects on non-target organisms. Remember, we are targeting like bollworm, but there are other insects which are on cotton. Hope by introducing this BT, we are not affecting other organisms. Also the environmental impact plus pest resistance. As you see pest resistance in pesticides, this can also lead to the same. Continue. I've already talked about non-target organisms, which includes fish, birds, mammals, honeybees, earthworms, biological control agents. The list is endless. Yeah. Continue. Still, this one is to emphasize the effect of toxins on non-target organisms. Yeah, looking at biosafety, why do we have biosafety? To handle those issues which have been raised. And how do we handle the technology? How do we regulate the technology? The technology is regulated at different stages of development. It's regulated at laboratory, which is greenhouse at a very first stage. And also it's regulated at field trial. I showed you plants which were in the field. Some countries put a fence, put security guards to protect those plants from being stolen or moving from that place to another. You see, the tricky bit with biotechnology is plants look healthy, better than the ones you have in your field. So if it's a farmer, he wonders why you are denying him using that technology, using that plant. Why would he continue struggling with his crop when there's a plant which can resist against pests, yeah? So all these safeties have to be in place before the technology is proved safe to be used. And then we also have regulation at applied research or commercial release. All these steps are interactive in nature. Just to have a linear flow of these steps, here I've already mentioned the laboratory. Biosafety, I've talked about biosafety at greenhouse, confined field trial, application, and general release. These different stages are regulated by different bodies, yeah? At laboratory and greenhouse, we have what we call institutional biosafety committee. Like the University of Jemba might be having an institutional biosafety committee, or it has at least an institutional biosafety committee it refers to when they are working with biotechnology. And then when you move to part of confined field trial to application for release, and also general release, also then you move to another bigger body, which is like an authority, a biosafety authority. The previous 2 days we were interacting with regulators here. You will get an opportunity probably in future to interact with the regulators. Regulators look at these components, and the regulators come from different fields. They come from farmers' organizations or associations. They come from consumer associations. They come from some are social economists, some are pure scientists, some are medical doctors, public health experts. It's a group of experts coming together to look at the technology and tease out elements, how it could possibly affect the general public, right? So in other words, the technology is protected. So at the end of general release, there is what I put in red, seed registration and certification. Like any other crop, it's expected to go through certification and registration before it gets to the farmer. And this is also another long process. If you talk to a scientist here, it can take, depending on the crop biology cycle, it can take between 4 to even 10 years, depending on even the type of the regulatory process or certification process, right? And then eventually it gets to the farmer. And these are the two main steps, of course, biosafety, that's looking at the environmental and food safety, and then the variety release registration. I talked about resistance. I want to highlight this, that there is a technology which has been developed to reduce on resistance when it comes to pest resistance. And this technology involves having more than one trait in a construct. I'm looking for words. More than one trait in a construct. And this is what they are calling as gene-stacked traits or gene pyramid, where you are having different traits targeting different organisms or different traits targeting the same organism but at different stages. Yeah? Yeah, I think that's my last slide. I just want to make that emphasis. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you very much for the three speakers. And now we are in the discussion session. So for this discussion session, you can raise your question in either in Indonesian or in English. But I hope you can express your question in English. But if you can't, so you can use Indonesian, and we try to translate it. Okay, for this discussion session, I would like to invite the three speakers to sit in this table. Okay, we will have about 30 minutes for discussions. When you want to ask some questions, so please mention your name and to whom the question is addressed. Okay? Okay, we start the discussion session. Is there anybody want to make a question? Show you? Okay. So, please the mic.
Terima kasih, saya pakai bahasa Indonesia saja ya. Daripada nanti pertanyaan saya tidak sampai gitu.
So she want to use Indonesian first. Okay.
Nama saya Mawarti, saya guru, I'm a teacher dari SMA Negeri 2 Lumajang.
So she is the high school teacher.
Sebelumnya di SIDAS ini saya pernah mengikuti workshop, seminar juga seperti ini, talkshow tentang gene editing.
Okay.
Nah kemudian tadi Prof. Karim sedikit menyinggung tentang gene editing. Pertanyaan saya adalah mana yang lebih sulit, lebih mudah, dan lebih efektif antara menggunakan gene editing dengan menggunakan BT untuk menghasilkan GMO. Jadi untuk menghasilkan suatu GMO itu mana yang lebih efektif gitu.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
Okay, actually a few months ago, she came to our lab and she learned about genome editing. And her question is, which one is more easier, using genome editing or using PT system to make a kind of plant which is resistant to the maybe the insect resistance. So, Professor Karim. So this question is for Professor Karim. So maybe you can answer directly. Okay. Yes.
So this is a good question. Both the techniques can be used to make the plant resistant to insects. GMO is you are bringing gene from either from the same plant species or from completely unrelated species. You heard Ruth mention BT,
Yes.
Bacillus thuringiensis. That's bacteria.
Yes.
That's not plant, yeah? It's bacteria. You're bringing gene from bacteria. So GMO, genetic engineering, require special techniques to bring the gene from unrelated species. Gene editing is a little bit more easier because gene editing is you are either deleting or you are inserting or something. So it's much more easier and much more precise. Yes, please. Yeah.
Ada informasi yang kemudian saya dapatkan dan itu belum bisa saya pahami betul. Tadi sebenarnya pertanyaan pertama saya itu GMO itu baik atau tidak untuk tubuh manusia ketika kita mengkonsumsinya. Gitu. Kemudian Prof. Hashimi mengatakan bahwa ya ada positif ada negatif, there is a positive and negative about consume GMO. Gitu. Ada pernyataan yang menyampaikan bahwa GMO with gene editing itu lebih aman dibandingkan GMO dengan menggunakan misalnya pakai BT atau yang lain. Itu apakah benar? Dengan gene editing, GMO is safety for our body. Is it true or not? Karena ketika saya menyampaikan ini ke anak didik saya, pertanyaan itu muncul. Mereka mengatakan bahwa mereka bertanya, apakah benar kalau kita mengkonsumsi makanan yang genetically modified itu berbahaya karena sekarang ini kan sedang marak ya kita mengkonsumsi makanan yang organik yang tidak direkayasa genetik kan seperti itu. Sementara dalam pelajaran bioteknologi saya menyampaikan itu, akhirnya mereka bertanya, kalau begitu saya konsumsi yang bagaimana itu Bu? Nah, kemudian mereka tentang gene editing, kemudian katanya dengan gene editing itu lebih aman. Nah, ini yang karena di sini disinggung, saya kepingin tanya mana yang apakah benar itu lebih aman atau seperti yang Prof. Hashimi katakan bahwa there is a good and there is a bad effect. Thank you.
Yeah, actually there is statement that genome editing is safer compared to common GMO products, okay? And also, her students somehow made question that consuming GMO product is not safe for our body. What do you think about that? Is that genome editing product is safer, or it is same just like common crops, or what's that? Or harmful for our body, because she want to give a correct answer to her student about if there is this question again. Maybe you can help her to give a good answer. Okay.
So all the crops, GMOs that are commercialized, they are all gone through all the safety evaluation. Yeah. They are all gone through the approval of the government. So, for example, sugarcane, which is developed here, is also gone through all the approvals. So far, all the crops that I showed you, 10 crops, right?
Yes.
All of them have gone through the safety assessments. All of them have been reviewed by the government, by Environmental Protection Agency, by Food and Drug Administration, and by U.S. Department of Agriculture. And so far, all of them have been safe. There is not a single accident so far, no single harmful effect. In the future, we don't know, right? That's why we have to have a good regulation, right? And Indonesia has very good regulation here. All the countries that are using biotechnology, majority, all of them have good regulations. So far, no concern, yeah? In the United States, we are eating GMO food for since 1996, more than 20 years. Not a single problem, yeah?
Jadi produk GMO yang dipasarkan itu sudah melalui tahapan-tahapan uji keamanan yang berlapis-lapis. Jadi kalau itu tidak bisa dipastikan keamanannya, tidak boleh dijual. Jadi we all almost every day eat tempe, tahu, okay? And the soybean which we use to make tempe mostly imported from USA. I don't think this is non-GMO. I think maybe this is mostly GMO. And I've been eating tempe for maybe 30 years, but I'm still handsome right now. So I think, I'm joking, okay, sorry. So I think so far there's no problem, there's no single incident that show us that GMO is not safe. So, okay. For another question, okay.
It's looking interesting when we are talking about GMO. For the first question, I'd like to deliver this question for Mrs. Hashimi. Here. For honored Mrs. Hashimi. I'd like to deliver this question. What is the difference about biotech crops and the GMO? Biotech crops and the GMO.
What's different between
the what is the difference biotech crops? Crops.
The difference or difference crops?
Different crops.
The difference between
results of biotech crops and GMO.
So biotech crops are referred to in different names, right? One is GMO crops, genetically engineered crops, living modified organisms. So there are different terms used, but we are referring to the same thing. But biotech as a agricultural science is beyond genetic engineering. It has molecular markers and all that stuff that Professor Karim and Professor Mabazi presented. There's more to it. But the biotech crop you're talking, biotech and GMOs, when we talk about it in a crop, it's the same.
Okay.
Can I forward for my question?
Yes.
For all the speakers, I still wonder in another country besides Indonesia, there are differences the product label GMO and non-GMO. What is meant? Why they do this?
Why they make label? GMO
for
or
the label.
GMO.
They give a label
Products.
for GMO and they give non-label label for non-GMO.
Yeah, where was this, in Malaysia, you said?
Yeah, in Malaysia too. Okay. Another Malaysia.
So different countries have different regulations, yeah. Some countries require that you label GMO and non-GMO. That has nothing to do with safety, yeah. Has nothing to do with safety, yeah. It's mainly for marketing, yeah. Because some people want to eat organic, yeah. Some people want to eat regular. Some people want to eat so it's more a marketing thing, but not a safety issue, yeah.
Okay. So next question.
Thank you. My name is Rama Prastita, and I have a question for Dr. Hashini. We do know that biotechnology can help improve economic development, especially for the smallholders farmer, by reduce the production cost and then increase the income. But Just can you give us example how this practical theory happen in the real society, and what can be the challenges, and how it impacts on the economies of the country as a whole? Thank you.
So the examples, thank you for the question, of course. The examples are case by case, right? So if I were to take an example from the US, where the farmers have been growing biotech crops for a very long time, the economics of, or if you are so you want to be an economist, right? So you will come to learn about cost benefits analysis, right? It's an agricultural economics a process where you evaluate both the cost of production and the income, the revenues of production, right? So farmers in the US are pretty, they do keep tabs of, and I don't know if it's the case here in Indonesia, but farmers are interested in the finances of the business, right? So they keep tabs of how much they pay for seeds, how much they pay for labor, how much they pay for the other kinds of inputs, and how much they generate, or what is the price at which they sell their corn, for example, to a wholesaler or a silo, some kind of company that gets these crops, and they see what the net revenues are, or the net profit from it. So what has been shown so far is that sometimes, most of the time, as opposed to conventional corn or the normal corn, farmers have to pay a little extra to buy the GMO corn, right? But the income is more in the long run because they're able to produce more crop, right? The crop is protected. If they're buying BT corn, for instance, they don't have to apply as much pesticides, which reduces the cost of agrochemicals, which reduce the cost of labor, which could reduce the cost of fuel, right? So they keep tabs of these things. And what they found out in the long run, and even in the short run, that the net benefits, net income from growing GM corn was more for them. And there are lots of examples of that. But then for another crop, that might be different. So you have to do it on a case-by-case basis and make sure that you do this kind of analysis for the crops of interest. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Just to add to that, when you look at biotechnology to national economies, it brings two things. It improves on income to the farmer. In most of our countries in the developing world, we are dependent on agriculture. I don't know what's the percentage for Indonesia. It's almost 80%. 70% of Ugandan population are doing agriculture in one way or the other. So imagine 70% having increased income. That trickles into development, national development. It improves on farmers' income. It improves on productivity, which is food security. Also, it improves on that national's income through agricultural productivity. The more you have of the food, the better the economy, right? So those two elements, when you use that tool, biotechnology tool, in addition to other tools, it will help in those two aspects, right?
I'll just add, for any technology, whether it's GMOs or regular technology, anything, when you are looking for benefits, you should divide them into three parts, yeah? First is economic benefits, the cost of production and increase in the yield, yeah, economic benefit. The second is environmental benefits. If you reduce the use of pesticide, it will help your environment, right? Second is the environmental benefit. And the third is the social benefits. So anytime if you are looking at benefits, you look at economic benefit, social benefit, and environmental benefits. And I think with biotechnology, for each of those crops, I showed you 10 of them, you can come up with each of those benefits, yeah, economic, social, environmental. Yeah. There are many case studies, you know. There are a lot of studies done on potential benefits or real benefits of these technologies. Thank you.
Okay, very good question. Okay. More question, please. Okay. From the, okay.
Okay, thank you. Hello, my name is Haikal Idris. One of the challenging issue about the agricultural is about the biotechnology agricultural is about biodiversity, right? So I want to know how we can managing gain flow so we can still safety the biodiversity.
The question is about biodiversity. So please.
Because we had very short presentations. Managing gene flow, it can be managed at different stages. You know, the researcher doing research at confined field trial manages gene flow by introducing buffers around his plots, yeah, so that genes don't move across plots. Yeah, that's one way. Then a farmer who is planting GMO, Dr. Ashini talked of coexistence. How can an organic farmer continue planting his crop and it remains organic with a GMO farmer? Yeah, you need both. When it comes to a farmer, there's what we call refugi. It used to be you plant a GM crop together with, that's for resistance, sorry, pest resistance, refugi. So you get buffers still. You plant buffers around your plots to stop your crop from contaminating the neighbor's plot. Yeah, and at times there is what they call zoning. You have zones for GM. You have zones for organic farmers. All this comes from government. If Indonesia is supporting genetically engineered, planting, you introduce all these mechanisms to help farmers to live together in harmony. Yeah? So maybe Professor Karim can add to that.
So I think with biodiversity, there are three ways you can look at it, yeah? If you grow biotech crop, and if you reduce the use of pesticide, your biodiversity will increase, yeah? A lot of the good insects will not die, yeah? So that's one benefit, one example. The second benefit is sometime you have many varieties. For example, here, if you have many varieties of rice, some varieties farmers like it, but they are not able to grow because they are susceptible to disease or insects or something. With biotech crop, if you can make it resistant, then farmers can grow many different varieties. For example, in India, the cotton, I showed you cotton, right? They put BT gene. Before, farmer only growing maybe 50 hybrids. Now they are able to grow 900 hybrids, yeah? So it increases the diversity. One negative aspect, and that is not also just for biotech, but for anything, is sometimes farmers grow same variety, yeah, in a more area, then it will reduce. But that is more a management issue, not a science issue, yeah. So in general, our experience is biotechnology will help you increase biodiversity. Sometimes you have collection of rice. I'm sure in Indonesia you have many different rice. You can use biotechnology to characterize the genetic, molecular characterization, and that will help you to speed up your breeding, yeah, for breeding for rice. So I think look at biodiversity in terms of how these tools can help you to improve the biodiversity without affecting without reducing the total biodiversity. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think maybe we have 10 minutes for these sessions. So we have enough time. So please, Mike, please.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed the presentation. Thank you to all presenters. I'd like to hear any experience. Sorry, my name is Yuda. I'm a teacher. I'd like to hear an experience of all of you while presenting this. I believe that it is an experience-based presentation concerning the issue that Indonesian people are quite different because we have the issue of mindset changing here. Indonesians are quite traditionally oriented kind of farmers. So there are times that you will find it really difficult in changing people's ideas over the use of technology and biosafety. And the things that I would love to hear would be your experience in implementing these ideas to the people, maybe the ones that Dr. Ruth has in Uganda, or maybe Professor Karim in India and anywhere else. And also, this is really important because it deals with shaping people's awareness of using the biotechnology and generating the biosafety. So I'd like to hear the experience, whether or not the biosafety itself concerns the whole thing in the process or aiming at the product.
Okay.
So that'll be the questions. Thank you.
Very clear question, please. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good question. In my presentation, I mentioned that the National Biosafety Committee it's multidisciplinary. It has social economists, it has consumer experts, I'm starting from the regulation because that's my background. So the reason why you have such kind of arrangement, different countries have such kind of arrangement, is to bring in to make sure that different segments of the society are represented. When you talk of Indonesian farmers being more fixed on what they believe, their culture, their attitude, that can be brought on board by someone who has studied very well Indonesia, who understands your farmer, and that can be discussed. But talking of biotechnology, we all agree that biotechnology is a solution. It's solving some of these problems which we've highlighted. It's a question of using that tool to solve Indonesian problems, correct? So how do we get to that? We can only move to that by supporting our own researchers. Support your researcher, because there's no way your researcher will do things out of context. He understands you better than any other researcher, right? He will develop a product which fits in your interests, which fits in your perspectives. I talked about banana. I did my research in Australia, that's in Brisbane, Queensland University of Technology. We're developing biofortified banana, rich in carotenoid and iron. We realized that this technology won't be easily accepted by countries in Africa, like my country. We had to develop transformation techniques, to develop tissue culture techniques in Uganda to be able to develop the crop or product for our people. Right now, as I speak, it's at multi-location. At least the country recognizes that it has trained its own people. There's no way I'm going to introduce a product to my people, which I know it's not right for my people, right? So I'm not saying that you shouldn't allow products from elsewhere. That's why you have a regulatory authority. They'll sit and evaluate this product, and you need to give them their time to make sure that the needs and the desires of Indonesian people have been factored in that process. Thank you.
Yeah, from my experience, for farmers, the best way to convince the farmer is to show the technology in the field, yeah? You can show many slides to farmers, but they will, for them seeing is believing, yeah? So please request Prof. Bambang, yeah? You bring some farmers here, show them the drought-tolerant sugarcane. If they see two varieties, one is not drought-tolerant, One is drought tolerant. If you see, also with farmers, you have to be very careful. If you go in any village or any community, there are some farmers that are champion, yeah? All the farmers trust them. So you want to identify those innovative farmers, those progressive farmers, and you bring them and you show them the technology. You put the technology in their field, yeah? And then other farmers will come and see it. And this is how you can really build the confidence with them.
I will just second the two comments that were made. The people, having local people involved in the research in the public sector, the universities, the research institutes being involved in research in developing products that are relevant, applicable, and useful to your own country, and the fact that you demonstrate the technologies to those who need it and let them be convinced that this is good for them. I think the third thing is that you want to strengthen the capacities locally amongst students, farmers, regulators, to understand how the technology works and how it can be useful to the country, whether it is beneficial to the country, how to evaluate across different technologies and pick the one that best serves the community. Even India is a very traditional society, very culturally diverse, hundreds of religions. So even India was able to adopt BT cotton. So there are techniques, there's ways. It's just a matter of showing the truth, telling the truth, and letting the people decide.
One thing I wanted to add, that you show the farmers the technology in the field, but also you reach out to the political leaders, yeah? Yeah. If the government support it, everything will move, yeah? So very important, yeah? Don't shy away. You need to show it to your government, yeah? So what you are doing, and so thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. But unfortunately, because the schedule is so tight, and the three speakers have to leave the from Jember as soon as possible. So I have to finish these sessions. So I'm sorry if you have any questions. So maybe you can ask them by email, or maybe we can help you to answer your question regarding biotechnology, or maybe its safety to environments. So thank you very much for the speakers, and please give big hand to the three speakers. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, please.
Thank you so much for all of the speakers, moderator, and audiences for a very educative, enlightening, and insightful discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, we will start the second session. In this session, we have Dr. Nurmalasari Darsono from Faculty of Science and Technology, Airlangga University, and PT Perkebunan Nusantara 11 as the speaker. And the topic of her presentation is Biosafety Certification of Genetically Modified Plants on case study of drought-tolerant sugarcane. This session will be chaired by Dr. Banun Kusumawardani. I would like to invite Dr. Banun to come forward. Time is yours.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Terima kasih atas kehadiran adik-adik dari berbagai SMA di sekitar Jember. Halo yang dari Bondowoso baru datang. Memang untuk sesi yang kedua ini kita spesifikkan menyampaikan dalam bahasa Indonesia supaya kita lebih dekat dan lebih memahami betapa pentingnya agricultural biotechnology and biosafety dalam kehidupan sehari-hari kita. Oke, kita semua percaya bahwa kita sangat membutuhkan bioteknologi untuk kemaslahatan umat. Tentunya dengan mempelajari lebih dalam kita akan tahu benefit effect dan harmful effect terhadap the body metabolism. Oke, percayakan dengan hal itu. Nah, berikutnya saya persilakan kepada Dr. Nurmalasari Darsono untuk menyampaikan presentasi beliau yang sangat menarik, yaitu tentang Biosafety Certification Genetic Modified Plants, Case Study of Drought Tolerant GM Sugarcane. Dr. Nurmalasari, saya persilakan untuk mengambil tempat. Waktu presentasi 30 menit. Dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera bagi semuanya. Hari ini saya mendapat tugas dari panitia untuk menjelaskan dalam bahasa Indonesia, meskipun slide yang saya buat bahasa Inggris, jadi mudah-mudahan nanti bisa lebih dipahami. Yang judul yang akan saya sampaikan hari ini adalah tentang studi kasus untuk tebu toleran kekeringan. Jadi sebenarnya Indonesia itu sudah mempunyai produk dalam negeri lah ya, produk dalam negeri untuk GMO. Yang pertama memang tebu. Jadi tebu ini karakternya memang toleran kekeringan. Jadi untuk produk-produk yang lain sebetulnya ada juga, tapi masih melalui pengujian biosafety assessment. Jadi nanti di masa-masa depan beberapa tahun mendatang kita akan punya juga produk-produk GMO buatan peneliti dalam negeri. Dan mungkin 5-10 tahun kemudian adalah produk dari adik-adik semua ini. Ya, kita harapkan semua seperti itu. Yang pertama, saya ingin memutar video singkat. Jadi ada video singkat tentang biotek dalam kehidupan sehari-hari. Karena istilah biotek itu seperti suatu teknologi yang sangat high tech gitu ya. Kemudian bagaimana kita tahunya bahwa itu biotek atau tidak? Saya akan memutar video singkat. Speakernya bisa on ya. Ya. Baik, kita lihat bersama-sama. Video ini dibuat oleh video sosialisasi yang dibuat oleh masyarakat Eropa untuk mensosialisasikan produk biotek sendiri. Karena banyak masyarakat di sana juga yang ternyata itu belum memahami biotek dalam kehidupan sehari-hari itu seperti apa. Behind all these ordinary activities, there's something extraordinary.
Nowadays, vitamins are made with the bioprocess using living cells and enzymes to make vitamins identical to those found in fruit and vegetables. It was biotechnology that came to the rescue when a devastating viral infection struck the Hawaiian papaya industry. Did you know that biotech enzymes give the genes the stone-washed look without having to stone-wash them? The smart enzymes made by genetically modified microorganisms in new biotech detergents have reduced washing temperatures to 30 Celsius or lower, saving energy while also dramatically cutting the amount of phosphates running into rivers. Biotech can also turn plants into bioplastics, like this cup, which is made entirely from corn material and is completely biodegradable and can be composted. This prototype car can run on 100% ethanol, a biofuel made from sugar. Most of the biodiesel sourced in Europe is from oilseed oil and is now being used in a small percentage in all diesel cars. Biotechnology can now also convert agricultural waste, known as biomass, into renewable energy or biofuels, which will give a new income to farmers. The first real biotech treatment for lymphoma cancer has meant no chemo or radiotherapy for this man. Patients like him are able to lead a normal life and can look forward to a healthy future. A new biotechnology medicine for rheumatoid arthritis, which targets the underlying causes of the disease, is giving better results for this woman, who can now walk alone, without help and without pain. These genetically modified carnations with their vibrant purple color are now being grown and sold throughout the world. Enzymes are now used to treat and cure leather. The bioprocess produces less waste, uses less energy, and is also easier on the tummies. Originally developed for American cotton farmers, over 75% of farmers growing GM cotton are now from developing countries. Did you know that euro notes are partly made from cotton? Biotechnology makes it possible to understand the underlying causes of diseases like multiple sclerosis. The first biotech treatments in the world have now been developed for multiple sclerosis, enabling patients to live more active lives for much longer. Around every corner there lies a biotech story. Biotechnology is touching almost every aspect of our lives. In Europe, almost 2,000 companies are advancing knowledge of biotechnology and life sciences. They are making products that provide new solutions to old problems. And biotechnology is so environmentally sound that people don't have to completely change lifestyles to be environmentally friendly. The invisible revolution is there to help you do it.
Yang tidak terlihat, kita tidak merasakan, bahkan tidak mempelajari, itu semua menikmati hasilnya. Jadi sekarang bisa kita pahami ya, bahkan di negara kita sendiri yang masih termasuk negara berkembang, kita menikmati produk itu tanpa terasa. Ya, baik, saya lanjutkan sekarang untuk kasus tebu produk kita sendiri ya, produk dalam negeri dengan karakter toleran kekeringan. Next. Oh ya, jadi tebu itu produk utamanya adalah gula, ya, produk utamanya gula. Kemudian produk sampingnya itu banyak. Bisa molasenya dipakai untuk industri fermentasi, jadi fermentasi apa itu MSG, kemudian asam sitrat dan lain-lain itu menggunakan bahan baku molase. Bagas bisa untuk industri kayu, pengolahan kayu, multiplex ya, semacam itulah. Kemudian juga untuk paper based product. Jadi sekarang banyak startup company itu yang menggunakan bagas untuk campuran dari kayak gelas ya, gelas seperti kalau kita ngopi di Starbucks atau di Coffee Topi itu. Nah, itu dari bagas dicampur macam-macam sehingga dia biodegradable ya. Kemudian ada lagi bioetanol, ya, bioetanolnya dihasilkan dari fermentasi molasses. Kemudian mikrobanya untuk efisiensi tinggi, mikrobanya adalah menggunakan yang rekombinan. Kemudian ada juga sugar wax untuk kepentingan industri. Sekarang yang kita hadapi. Jadi saya dulu bekerja di PTPN 11, jadi adalah sebuah BUMN. Kami mengalami penurunan produktivitas, di mana penurunan itu diduga disebabkan karena peralihan lahan. Jadi peralihan lahan yang dulunya di lahan sawah, sekarang itu mayoritas menggunakan lahan-lahan kering karena ada persaingan komoditas. Jadi kalau tanaman pangan itu kan umurnya pendek, kayak jagung 3 bulan, kedelai juga hitungannya bulan. Kemudian apalagi ya, banyak lah ya itu. Tapi kalau tebu kan 1 tahun. Jadi selama 1 tahun petani baru mendapatkan hasil, tanam sekarang, tahun depan baru dapat penghasilan. Nah itu kan buat petani kurang menarik. Nah, sehingga kami sangat bersaing untuk penggunaan lahan. Akhirnya si tebu itu minggir mencari lahan-lahan yang kurang produktif, karena selain petaninya tidak mau, harga sewanya memang lebih murah jika lahan-lahannya yang kurang produktif. Nah, di sisi lain lahan kering itu karakternya pada umumnya itu water deficient, jadi tada hujan, sangat tergantung dengan iklim. Nah kalau pada saat itu ada kan kita sering ya mengalami global climate change ya, ada musim di mana musim kemarau basah, jadi kemarau tapi banyak hujan. Ada juga musim kemarau yang lebih panjang. Nah ini lahan-lahan kering itu sangat tergantung dari iklim pada saat itu. Kemudian high evaporation, jadi banyak terjadi penguapan, terutama lahan-lahan kering yang dia di tipe-tipe iklim yang D atau di dekat daerah pinggiran pantai, itu evaporasinya lebih tinggi, dan lain-lain ya, high D temperature during summer, low humidity, kemudian runoff dan soil erosion, karena banyak lahan-lahan kering atau lahan marginal itu berada di lereng, bukan rata tetapi agak berkontur, sehingga air itu cuma lewat, dia tidak masuk ke bawah, tidak meresap tapi lewat, sehingga ada kecenderungan runoff dan erosi, karena itu dia menjadi kurang subur ya. Berikutnya ya ini, oh salah. Nah, kami sebagai peneliti itu mempunyai pemikiran atau ide untuk menghasilkan tebu dengan sifat toleran kekeringan. Tapi ide ini harus didukung oleh data. Datanya apa? Apakah betul terjadi peningkatan penanaman tebu di lahan kering? Nah, kami mencari data. Kebetulan yang saya sampaikan ini data lama ya, tahun 2012. Kami mencari data 5 tahun terakhir. Data 5 tahun terakhir kita buat diagram batang, kemudian kita buat kurva tren. Kita buat kurva tren sehingga kita bisa melihat apakah asumsi kita bahwa tebu itu trennya beralih ke lahan kering itu benar atau tidak. Ternyata terbukti yang berwarna oranye, jadi diagram batang yang berwarna oranye itu adalah lahan Tegal, dan yang biru adalah lahan sawah. Lahan Tegal trennya meningkat, kemudian lahan sawah trennya menurun. Itu tahun 2012. Saya kira jika saya mengambil data terbaru itu akan lebih tajam penurunannya untuk lahan sawah dan peningkatannya untuk lahan Tegal. Jadi asumsi kami terbukti. Nah, kemudian apakah betul produktivitas di lahan Tegal itu rendah? Maka kami mencari data lagi. Jadi ini adalah data tebu semua ya. Kemudian kita membuat diagram batang seperti yang tadi dan dibuat kurva trennya bagaimana. Ternyata terbukti juga yang batang yang berwarna merah adalah produktivitas di lahan sawah. Kemudian diagram batang yang berwarna biru adalah produktivitas di lahan Tegal. Terlihat bahwa di lahan sawah itu naik. Walaupun lahannya turun, tapi produktivitasnya bagus. Tetapi yang di Tegal itu sudah lahannya naik, produktivitasnya turun. Nah, ini sudah jatuh tertimpa tangga untuk tebu. Nah, inilah yang peneliti harus membantu mengintroduksi teknologi apa supaya petani-petani yang punyanya lahan kering itu dia bisa mendapatkan income yang memadai. Gitu ya, jelas ya? Nah, saya lanjut lagi. Sekarang kalau kita menggunakan teknik konvensional breeding, itu yang kita dapat semua karakter itu random ya, itu masuk dalam satu turunan, dalam turunannya itu random. Jadi selain sifat yang kita inginkan, jadi sifat yang kita inginkan itu bulatan yang berwarna kuning, tapi sifat lain masuk juga. Jadi kita kan kepinginnya mendapatkan varietas baru yang sifatnya itu berwarna merah semua dengan satu kuning. Nah, tapi kalau dengan konvensional itu tidak bisa. Yang hijau masih tetap masuk. Dan kita tidak bisa mengendalikan karena itu terjadi secara acak, random. Ya. Lanjutnya. Nah, sekarang kalau kita menggunakan pemuliaan biotek itu kita bisa memilih karena ada toolsnya, ada tools untuk mengambil karakter itu kemudian memasukkan ke varietas yang kita inginkan, itu ada alatnya. Jadi hasilnya memang lebih presisi. Kendala lain selain teknik biotek itu menjanjikan presisi yang lebih baik, itu kendalanya ada di tebu sendiri. Jadi tebu itu polennya itu jatuh. Jadi kena angin dia jatuh. Yang pertama itu, kemudian cepat kering, tidak ada masa dormansi. Jadi tergolong benih kalau di ilmu tanaman itu namanya rekalsitran. Jadi begitu dia tidak bersilang, dia akan kering dan mati. Jadi waktunya hanya menit, tidak sampai jam, bahkan hari, bahkan bulan, tahun, tidak. Jadi begitu jatuh dia tidak bersilang maka akan mati. Nah, itu kendala di tebu sendiri, sehingga tebu itu menurut pendapat kami adalah tanaman yang cocok untuk dilakukan pemuliaan secara biotek. Kemudian kami dari PTPN 11 bekerja sama dengan beberapa pihak, diantaranya Ajinomoto Jepang untuk menyediakan gennya, kemudian dengan Universitas Jember untuk pengujian lanjutan, dan kami kemudian mulai merakit varietas dengan karakter toleran kekeringan melalui bioteknologi. Nah, jadi yang pertama harus kita lakukan adalah sebagai peneliti kita harus memilih tetua mana yang karakternya bagus, tadi yang karakternya bulatan-bulatan merah itu, yang mana yang bagus untuk kita tambahkan dengan satu sifat toleran kekeringan. Nah, itu harus dipilih. Kemudian setelah itu peneliti harus menguasai teknik kultur jaringan. Jadi teknik kultur jaringan tebunya harus sudah mantap, ya, sudah established, jadi sudah menguasai dari A sampai Z. Jadi kalau ini karena itu tools ya, alat utama di dalam biotek untuk genetically modification itu adalah kultur jaringan. Karena itu harus teknologi kultur jaringannya harus mapan dulu. Nah, kemudian dilakukan genetic transformation dan lain-lain sampai ke bawah. Ada juga field test, kemudian biosafety testing yang bertahun-tahun dan berlapis-lapis dan bermacam-macam juga. Itu pada akhirnya varietas ini bisa dilepas oleh Menteri Pertanian. Nah, sekarang bagaimana riset ini berawal ya? Riset ini berawal dari kegiatan laboratorium. Di kegiatan laboratorium apa yang dikerjakan? Yang pertama tentu kita harus mengeksplor gennya. Gen untuk toleran kekeringan. Itu apa? Karena gen toleran kekeringan itu banyak sekali. Bisa dari mikroba, bisa juga dari tanaman lain, dan mikrobanya apa? Macam-macam. Mikroba yang kami gunakan di sini ada 2, mikroba Rhizobium meliloti dan E. coli. Nah, ternyata kita harus mempelajari juga gen ini cara kerjanya bagaimana. Ternyata cara kerja gen di mikroba dan gen toleran kekeringan di tanaman itu berbeda. Jadi kami memilih gen yang bernama BET-E ya, BET-E gene. Jadi kepanjangannya betain karena gen ini menghasilkan senyawa betain. Ya, secara alami ada tanaman juga yang menghasilkan senyawa betain. Itu contohnya bayam. Ya, bayam secara alami memang punya. Jadi kalau musim kering itu dia bisa tumbuh bijinya ya, bijinya yang dorman di tanah itu tahu-tahu tumbuh. Kemudian tidak disiram dia tidak apa-apa karena dia mempunyai senyawa betain yang tergolong senyawa toleran kekeringan. Jadi untuk jalur pembentukan senyawa betain dari sumber mikroba dan dari sumber tanaman itu berbeda. Yang sumber tanaman itu di bawah jalurnya, jadi jalurnya yang plants, CMO, kemudian menjadi betain aldehid dan akhirnya menjadi glisin betain. Tapi kalau dari sumber mikroba itu jalurnya yang atas, jadi bakteri, CDH, betain aldehid, kemudian glisin betain. Nah, karena yang kami pakai sumbernya adalah mikroba, maka pembentukan senyawa betainnya mengikuti jalur bakteri, tidak mengikuti jalur tanaman karena sumber gennya dari mikroba. Nah, berikutnya yang harus dilakukan oleh peneliti adalah memilih tetua. Tetua yang kami pilih adalah varietas BL karena varietas BL ini dia varietas yang gampang pemeliharaannya. Jadi petani itu kan maunya yang gampang di pemeliharaan ya supaya biaya budidayanya tidak tinggi. Kemudian varietas ini juga produktivitasnya tinggi, jumlah anak-anaknya banyak sehingga bobot panen itu dia tinggi. Nah, karena itu kami memilih varietas ini. Kebetulan juga varietas ini termasuk yang tidak tahan kering. Transformasi genetiknya kami lakukan menggunakan metode biologis, jadi ada perantaranya. Gennya dititipkan ke mikroba, mikrobanya namanya agrobacterium. Agrobacteriumnya menginfeksi tebu dalam bentuk kultur jaringan ya, dalam bentuk kalus atau tunas mikro di kultur jaringan itu dia diinfeksi, diperlakukan untuk dapat menginfeksi, kemudian dilakukan seleksi nanti. Nah, ini adalah langkah-langkahnya. Kami melakukan sumber eksplan tebunya itu bisa kalus, bisa tunas mikro, bisa juga tunas non embrional juga bisa. Jadi ini kita infeksi dengan mikroba agrobacterium tadi, kemudian di dalam rangkaian ini, di dalam rangkaian Ibu Ruth tadi menyebut tentang konstruk, jadi ini adalah konstruk gen ya. Konstruk gennya itu seperti itu yang di atas. Di dalam konstruk gen itu ada senyawa seleksi. Senyawa seleksi itu bisa bakteri, bisa antibiotik, bisa herbisida. Kebetulan yang dirancang di sini adalah senyawa seleksinya adalah antibiotik. Jadi dilakukan seleksi. Jadi setelah tanamannya diinfeksi oleh agro, kemudian diseleksi. Seleksinya media seleksi mengandung senyawa seleksi. Jadi kalau senyawanya yang kita rakit itu antibiotik, maka medianya dikasih antibiotik dengan konsentrasi tertentu. Nah, kemudian yang tumbuh, nah itu yang di tengah ya, gambar yang di tengah itu yang hijau-hijau ya, tunas yang berwarna hijau itu adalah tunas yang tumbuh di media seleksi. Jadi diduga yang tumbuh itu adalah tunas transgenik, ya. Tapi dia masih harus melalui seleksi lagi. Berikutnya kita regenerasikan sampai dia menjadi tanaman utuh dan kita aklimatisasi. Nah, kemudian kita membuat uji apakah tanaman yang diduga transgenik itu betul-betul mempunyai karakter tahan kering. Nah, di lab itu bisa dilakukan ya, secara kultur jaringan bisa dilakukan. Kita bisa ini yang kami lakukan di sini pakai osmotic stress. Jadi osmotic stress itu kami menambahkan NaCl ya, konsentrasi tertentu karena osmotic stress dengan water stress di lingkungan alam itu respon fisiologisnya mirip, hampir sama. Karena itu kami menduplikasinya ke lab itu dengan cara memilih salah satu itu, osmotic stress atau water stress. Kami menganggap bahwa osmotic stress untuk skala lab lebih mudah, maka kami memilih melakukan osmotic stress. Jadi gambar yang di atas itu ada tanda panah, gambar yang di bawah juga ada tanda panah. Jadi gambar yang di atas adalah tetuanya, varietas BL. Kemudian gambar yang di bawah adalah tebu transgeniknya. Jadi pada tetua varietas BL itu dia sudah menunjukkan tanda-tanda stres atau pertumbuhan yang tidak normal pada konsentrasi dari kiri ke kanan 0,3, 25, 0,15 ya, 0,15 dia sudah tingginya tinggal separuh tabung. Tapi kalau yang di bawah itu yang transgenik konsentrasi 0,3 dia tingginya masih 3/4 tabung. Jadi ketahanannya 2 kali lipat daripada tetuanya. Ya, bisa dilihat ini dari foto. Jadi peneliti pun melakukan penelitian itu berlapis-lapis juga gitu ya. Berikutnya adalah setelah lolos dia dari uji lab, kita bawa ke greenhouse. Di greenhouse diuji juga dengan water stress ya, water deficiency, di mana yang kami lakukan saat itu adalah tanamannya ditanam di ini pot ya, pot. Kemudian dia tidak diberi air sama sekali sampai mencapai titik layu permanen. Nah, itu kita ukur hari dia mencapai titik layu permanen, kemudian responnya jadi menggulung dan menggulung secara keseluruhan dan lain-lain. Setelah itu kita melihat profil akarnya. Jadi tanaman-tanaman yang cenderung tahan kering itu akarnya akan lebih banyak. Jadi akar yang bawah itu kalau nggak salah, jadi di tebu itu ada berbagai tipe akar, ada 3, ada buttress, ada superficial, ada satu lagi saya lupa. Jadi yang paling bawah itu yang gambar paling bawah itu kalau dia jumlahnya banyak itu dia cenderung lebih tahan kering dari yang lain. Ya, itu ternyata varietas yang